Hello everyone, good day. Today I'll be presenting the methodology and key findings section from the study Rise of the Machines examining the influence of social bots on political discussion network. So this section explains how the researchers conducted their study and gathered insights into the prevalence and impact of bots in political discussion on Twitter. So let's walk through each step of their methodology, ensuring we understand not just what was done but why it mattered. So next. So to start, the researcher collected Twitter data between July and August 2017. So their goal was to analyze tweets related to the special counsel investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 US elections. So using the keywords like Trump Russia, Mueller, Donald Trump Jr., and Russia, they identified relevant tweets. And by filtering accounts with at least 25 followers and 100 followings, they ensured that the data came from active users and it reduced irrelevant noises. So the final data set included over 13 million tweets and 110 million retweets, though they focused their analysis on a 2-week sample of English tweets for practicality. Um, Now, let's talk about some example to make this a bit clearer. So, in the article, the author state, in order to detect social bots within the discussion network, we utilize the Botometer program. So, Botometer is a bot detection algorithm that uses supervised machine learning methods to assist in determining the likelihood that a Twitter account is actually a social bot. So the researcher, they use a tool called Botometer to detect bots on Twitters. So it is like a smart detective that examines accounts by looking at things like their friends, followers, number of tweets, and profile details. So using this information, it figures out if the account is likely run by a person or an automated bot. Moving on, Botometer evaluates accounts by examining behaviors such as activity levels, network connections, and language patterns. So the accounts scoring above 0.43, they were likely flagged as bots. And to confirm their results, they cross-reference with another bot detection tool, which is the Tweetbot or not, for validation. And it produced a consistent findings, and this dual verification added credibility to their methodology. Next is the community and sentiment analysis techniques. So this step, it involves understanding how users interacted within the network. And using the Louvain algorithm, the researchers detected three main communities: the one left-leaning group and the two right-leaning group, which is labeled as R1, the moderate, and R2, the far right. So finally, the researchers, they conducted a sentiment analysis to assess the emotional tone of tweets. They used the Sentistrend. It is a program specifically designed to evaluate a sentiment in short, informal text like tweets. So the Sentistrand, it measure both positive and negative emotional tones, and it provide a comprehensive view of the sentiments expressed in the network. And the analysis covered over 627,000 tweets comparing sentiments before and after removing bots. And this allowed the researcher to identify how bots influence the emotional tone of discussion. Now, let's go on to the key findings on bot prevalence. First is the bot presence in the far right community. So to start, one of the most surprising findings was how many bots were present in the far right community, or the R2. So in this group, nearly 2 out of every 3 accounts, or the 63%, were likely bots. And this was much higher than the left-leaning group, where it only about 12% of accounts were bots, and the moderate right-leaning group, were 39% are bots. So what's even more striking is how active these bots were. So even though they are made up only 23% of all the accounts in the study, they were responsible for a massive 35% of all retweets. This means that bots were not just present, but they are highly influential. And by retweeting certain posts over and over, they made a specific messages appear much more popular and widely supported than they really were. And essentially, bots were being used to amplify particular narratives, and it creates a false sense of popularity and agreement within the network. So next is the behavioral differences in the community. So another important observation was the variation in behavior across groups. Like for example, in the far-right community or the R2, accounts retweeted an average of 9.32 times for every original tweet, and a sharp contrast to a 1.38 and 1.27 ratios seen in the left-leaning and moderate right-leaning groups respectively. And additionally, bots in R2 relied heavily on hashtag to increase the visibility of their posts and use mentions to amplify messages or target specific users. So these tactics, it enables the bots to maximize their reach and significantly influence conversations within the network. Now let's go on to the effects of bots on the network structure. So first is the artificial cluster. Shifting focus to how bots affected the structure of online communities, the study found out that bots created fake groups or the artificial cluster. So these bots acted as if they were many active and engaged users in the far-right community and making it look much bigger and much more influential than it really was. So they did this by creating a lot of activities such as tweets and interactions and to simulate a lively thriving community. So however, when researchers removed this bots account from their analysis, the far right group or the R2, it completely disappeared. In other words, the group's supposed size and strengths weren't real, and it was just an illusion caused by the bots. And this shows that far-right community wasn't as large or as powerful as it seemed, and much of its activity was artificially generated by automated bots. So finally, let's go on to the polarization. So the study here it shows how divided the network was, with people forming separate groups based on their beliefs and ideologies. So these groups, like the far right or the left leaning communities, they most likely kept to themselves and rarely interacted with one another. And this lack of connection made it harder for people from different sides to have a meaningful conversation or find a common ground. And bots made this division even worse. Bots amplified messages only within their own groups, making certain ideas or narratives seems louder and more popular than they actually were. Like for example, in the far right group, the bots there work to make a community look bigger and more influential, which deepened the gap between the different ideological groups. And as a result, the bots not only created the illusion of a stronger far-right community, but also contributed to a further polarization, making it even less likely for people to connect or exchange ideas across these divides. So, yun. In conclusion, this study shows how much bots can influence conversations on social media. And these automated accounts don't just participate in this discussion, but they actively manipulate them. They amplify certain messages, making it seem more popular or widely accepted than they really are. And they also create fake online communities that look active and engaged, but are actually driven by automated activity. And on top of that, bots contribute to division between groups, making people with different opinions even more separated and less likely to interact with one another. And looking at these findings, it is clear that we need better ways to detect and stop bots from taking over online conversations. And if we don't address this problem, the integrity of online discussions, where people share ideas and learn from one another, will continue to be compromised. And by tackling the challenges bots create, we can create healthier, more balanced online spaces where different perspectives can coexist and help to support more open and democratic conversation. And that's all for the methodology and key findings. Now, let's go on to my other partner, Richel Esaga, to tackle the analysis, implications, and conclusions. Thank you.